Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly Ascension Angel messages for June 2nd through the 8th, 2025. So just bear with my voice a moment. I usually do things this early, but my voice is probably will warm up as we're going along. But I'd like to first of all welcome all of you back to this weekly series, and to also welcome anyone who's new to our Angelic Wisdom community. I want to first of all ask you, as a general reminder, to make sure you're subscribed, select the all notification bell, like, and of course leave your comments. Also, if you'd like to get an angel reading with me, you can go to my current website, theangelschool.com/services. This link and any other links I will mention would be in the description area beneath this video. Currently, finishing up the school year, and I'll be done. Last day will be the 17th of July. So if you'd like to schedule an angel reading with me during the week, I'll be available for that pretty much during the summer. Hopefully I'm going to have some vacation time I'm going to take for myself once I kind of arrange it. But for now, if something comes up before that, I'm available on Saturdays now after 2 p.m. Also, if you'd just like to support my channel with a donation, you can go to my current PayPal me link for Angelic Wisdom LLC. Also, if you haven't seen the monthly Ascension Angel messages for June, that link will be the very first one that you will see. I can't stress it enough how important that message will be for you as it was for me. I'm going to have to listen to it several times because it's really important as we're all, approaching this together, the Ascension frequencies, and trying to understand how to adapt and adjust to what's happening. So definitely check that out. All right, so let's take a moment to take a deep breath. And just relax and ground yourself. See your roots going deep into the heart of Lady Gaia. And just give yourself a moment to feel the frequency of her heart, of her love, her heart song call to your soul. Allow her to nurture you in her blessings. And just allow yourself to receive, feel, or sensing your aura just filling up with her radiant rainbow healing energy. Feel or sense all the promises and the hopes that you're fulfilling through your life mission and just through your divine essence in life. Feel the sense that it's okay to be who you are and to enjoy the freedom of your unique expression and what that energy signature is providing to the universe. And allow your heart to burst open with such great joy and abundance. And feel it radiating this light from your heart and embracing and enveloping, nurturing and loving our entire planet and all who inhabit it. They write the word changes and they ask you to embrace all the changes that are unfolding. And to embrace change, we must see the losses that we will go through just as much as the gift and a blessing of change as it is to gain new opportunities. We'll be able to find more peace in our lives displayed through the process of change when we understand that loss and gain are both opportunities. And we have to be ready to let go just as much, with as much enthusiasm as we are to embrace the new. At the beginning, I was feeling as though I was seeing a large iceberg. And it felt like an obstacle. But this iceberg can melt, right? It can dissolve. And because it was an iceberg, it also represents emotions that are frozen. So they really want you to think about events in time where you feel frozen or stuck, or it just feels like it's always with you. Almost, when we freeze something, it's like we don't want it to change. And I'm getting a sense that this doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, a bad experience. It might be an event of happiness that you're holding on to, but not in the right way, so that it's preventing you from being open to even greater possibilities of joy or opportunities. It sort of goes in line with the good old days. And the older we get, we really think about the good old days, right? Just before I actually started recording, I was thinking about my great aunt. While I was doing this meditation, she came into my thoughts, and So she was mm, my mother's aunt, my grandfather's sister, my Aunt Mabel, and I have a lot of people, a lot of my great aunts and aunts that have, and uncles that have passed on. I had a very large family, I still do. And so there are a lot of people in our lives that um, we were very close, extended parts of our family and neighbors and friends, and all of the memories of them are extraordinary and unique in their own ways. And each one of them sort of represents some aspect of myself that that I looked up to, right? So, and I was just thinking to myself, I was talking to her in my mind, like, why did you have to die at such a young age? I mean, 68 was a young age. And I think I was thinking about her because of the, me working as a teacher, and she was a teacher. And I was thinking to myself, gosh, I really wish I could talk to her. Um, and then I was thinking about myself and when I was in school and so many things I wish I could have learned from her. Um, and so it's sort of like we have these really good memories, really great memories. But sometimes my memories of them are so, I guess the word that came to my mind was immaculate, right? Strange word, I know. That sometimes it's harder to, when people like that are no longer in your life, and you keep looking for them in others. Um, I had a lot of really supportive, loving, caring um, members of my family and my neighbors. So many, and now we find ourselves in this world where their personalities and their character, it's hard to find. And what's hard to find about them is that people like this went out of their way to care for you. And I find that going out of your way to care for people in the same way is often received in a negative way, or that people want to take advantage of it. And so it makes it hard for you to open up. Well, it makes it hard for you to open up to greater possibilities when you can't imagine it getting better than that, because that's your pinnacle. My great aunt Mabel was a teacher, and she was a very well loved and respected teacher, and she was um, teacher of the year by President Ford. And so you have people like this, right? And it's hard to let them go. It's hard to let go of their essence and their relationships. So you keep looking for those relationships and the people that you meet, people um, who handle themselves with such dignity and grace and nobility, really. So this might be, as I share something very personal, didn't realize how, emotional it's going to be, because I mean, she's passed in 1986. Um, so think about how many years ago, how many decades ago that was. But it's also a great honor to have felt loved and to have loved and adored another. And in my case, so many others. I could just list, probably, I know it seems impossible that I knew that many people growing up, but it just feels like in the hundreds of people that I felt that kind of closeness with and that kind of trust with. And to be in a new century where we don't have this at all. We don't have that in our modern lives, in our lives out there in the world. And unlike then, we had families that we were nearer to our families and our communities. With now most of us have moved away for what we thought were better opportunities, and so yeah, the world is different in that regard. So this is starting to feel a little embarrassing. However, um, I understand what they're trying to get at, actually, and in the sense that you know, I hate to even bring this up, but I'll bring up part of it, which is the theme of one of our groups, or not one of our groups, but let's just say it like it is, okay? I don't, because I try not to create controversy here, but the MAGA theme, "Make America Great Again," that's similar to this iceberg of emotions that I've been describing for a completely different reason, but it doesn't matter. It just goes to show us that we're all holding on to things for different reasons. But it's still an emotional iceberg, and it's still holding us all back, collectively and individually. Because what is to come, the new golden future, is so completely different. So much so that it might really scare us quite a lot, right? It probably scares us tremendously. The kind of changes that living in that higher paradigm and frequency might cause us to have to give up. And so that's why they really focused on that piece of loss as change. Because we know about it. It's not like we don't think about it. But we always talk about, what's to come, and we're afraid of what's to come. But it overshadows the laws and how we really have to do more of that. More of that in order for the healing of the world that we're looking for. And this has to do with greatly the influence around peace and being able to really start to have it. We can't have peace until we surrender what we no longer need. And we don't have to forget our loved ones. We don't have to forget the way we were loved, but we have to allow it to give us the strength and the courage to know and to receive the love that we now deserve on such a higher level, a higher frequency. Our ideas of love have not even been blown out of the water yet. They haven't been expanded. We haven't been able to really conceive what's really possible beyond what we've already been given and what we've already lost. And that's extraordinary in every facet of our life, financially, because it's all the same. Love is love. In our personal relationships, romantically, professionally, acquaintances, etc., career, your truth, your authentic expression, your creativity. There is a higher, and this is not higher, but it's a more expanded version of love that we have to be ready and willing and determined to embrace in order for us to start to see progress for ourselves and for the universe itself. We just have to have faith in it. As I just look down to see all the numbers turning 222. Believe. Believe. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. Think of the rainbow. And the promise and the magic, the miracles that it promises beyond our imagination. It takes us to a place beyond that. And that's where we need to go now. In our souls, in our loving, in our expressing, in our reaching for greater opportunities. Let's take a look at the Archangel message for us this week. And it's Archangel Mary. And it says, open your heart with compassion. Enfold others in love. Just take a moment to see in this image the Archangel Mary resting on the grass, on a little molehill, I guess, and flowers, blue flowers, just rising all around her, and the clear blue sky, the beautiful white clouds. There's no sense of anything ominous, right? It's all sort of idyllic and very paradise. And she's just embracing this newborn, embracing the new. And it's just so appropriate, this card, without even knowing what it was, just encapsulates the energy and our actions that we need to embrace. it's going to be hard to embrace the world as it is if we keep that iceberg of memories not as a support or a springboard, but as something of criticism. We're using it as criticism or judgment, right? So how do we embrace? And this image teaches us that if we do embrace everything in love, we are open to this sort of blissful eternity where all things just are enfolded in extraordinary beauty, happiness, and peace. Just tune in a bit to Archangel Mary. And you can try to imagine her blue energy just surrounding you. And Archangel Mary is the archangel who overlit Mother Mary in her various incarnations, as Isis as well. And just feel her energy pouring into your heart. Just filling the chalice of your soul with renewal, the energy of renewal. And just breathe it in. Allow yourself, she's saying, to just be nurtured for a moment. Allow your soul and your cells of your body, and especially your heart, to drink as much of this energy of renewal that it needs to heal and to move forward, to embrace the new opportunities of love and light that are on your forward moving path. She just keeps showing me a tree, and that we really need to be grounded, roots deep into our experience on earth at this time. That this is a really important time for all of us to absorb, to receive, to really be immensely rooted and grounded in our heart energy, and to give and to receive and to love with all of our hearts whatever it is that we're doing, that we're called to do. She's writing, just be yourself. Stop trying to figure out other ways to be, because she says it's too complicated. And it's the common issue that's creating all of the stuff that humanity is dealing with right now. She writes, Fontana, I understood it to mean fountain. You are your own fountain of abundance. As soon as you are being yourself and you're not trying to figure out how to fit in to any circumstance or to fit in any way that allows you to be liked by others and to also compromise yourself at the same time. And this is not that we go out and just destroy others by just saying whatever we want and doing whatever we want. That's not the kind of being yourself. The kind of being yourself is that which comes from your heart, that comes from the pit of your soul, the pitless part of your soul, because you are infinite. That what you say and what you do and how you do it is natural. It's naturally loving and it's naturally you. We all have an innate wisdom within us that we have to tap into and that we have to try to discern from it more of who we should be. We need to get used to it. And that comes from being, when they write the word confess to me, it really means about honesty. Honestly answering those questions that you have for yourself in any instance when you're thinking about who you are and who you want to be. Is it first answer, what is it that I desire? What is the outcome I truly want for myself and others in this moment before you, in an irrational way, just react? Being yourself still comes with responsibility and accountability. But being yourself is still the simplest form of peace you can initiate. And that is why we all struggle with peace, finding it and having it, because we struggle with being ourselves. Let's take a look at the first card, and the cards were laid down from right to left. So it's that personal focus, which you can all sense as we. And this is the card, the moon. In this card image, we really get this sense of power, powerful intuition, and this flowering of intuition. She kind of looks almost like a lioness, doesn't she? So I get a sense of being yourself from the wisdom of love within you and being able to access that and have higher discernment by trusting your intuition, trusting the intuition of yourself, listening to it, and acting upon it in the form of being true to you. That this will help you to have a greater sense of power or strength and courage to love and to bring love and extraordinary peace into your life. This is a journey that we have to begin. And it's that moment of taking, you know, counting before you react, to count to 10, count to 50 if you need to. And then just listen within your soul to what your intuition, out of love, the wisdom of love is guiding you to do, how to be yourself in this moment. We don't want to be our illusions. We don't want to be our pain. In every circumstance, there's loss and there's gain. But from both, there is new opportunity. And now the new opportunity, the opportunity of renewal of the heart, is to be thyself as love. I am love. And that does not mean that, again, love has many faces. And life has shown us that. Let's not limit love to one sweet voice. It is passionate. And some people might read that from ego as anger. But it's passionate when it is advocating for itself or another, for a higher purpose. Let's take a look at the card. The next card is the Two of Cups. So this gives us a sense that what we're really working on mostly here is a relationship with ourselves. First, we're starting this healing within the way that we express ourselves. I'm also saying the word excessive. And that might mean that we are looking for this balance. That's a part of our healing. The relationship with ourselves is, again, that balance. Because when you're honest with yourself, you are being true to yourself. So when you're being honest and you're being true to yourself, that balance is a part of that innate wisdom of love that we're talking about. And then acting out of that love by doing what's right for you and doing what's right for the situation. This is an extraordinary change that has a lot to gain, but a lot to lose, because you lose a false sense of yourself, a part of yourself that needed to do things in order to be liked or approved of, right? It might have been a great part of your success, but in the end, it was just burning you out. And so you have to trust that we all really want the truth, right? We all want the authentic self. We all want to interact with authenticity. Yes, sometimes our illusions are really fantastic, entertaining, etc. But the real you is never a substitute. And here we have the Five of Swords. And just looking at the card imagery is like something comes to a head, right? You got the two. It's almost like you're gonna be struggling with yourself. This is not going to be easy. But just remember, this is the simplest thing to do, being yourself. But the fight that's always been there, that it seems like you're always fighting with the world, or the world is bullying you or taking advantage of you, that's been you fighting with your own light. And as long as there is no attempt to heal it, but to keep putting the responsibility on others, they're not saying this to you as if you've been doing something wrong. They're saying this to you as if you never knew and understood just how personal your relationship with yourself is. I can't get the next word out, but because I feel like I'm not connecting the sentence, but it's been the influence of the relationships outside of yourself, this personal relationship. It's been the influence or lack of influence for peace to exist amongst humanity. And if we are all ready for this shift, this kind of loss and gain, then we're going to all begin to see it occur very soon. And don't worry, the workload is not on you alone. The universe is setting up the curriculum and the lessons and the exams, the tests, to make sure that we all get there. And that's what we're experiencing. And these readings are helping us to get to the heart of our focus. It's like your tutor's kind of helping you to, your angelic tutor is helping you to focus on what's important, the heart of the matter, in order for us all to participate in it more effectively. So I'm going to pull the card from the bottom of the deck. And it's the Empress card, which we had in last week's reading at the bottom of the deck. And what I kind of heard was, nurture yourself, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself above. This is the bottom line of this message. Taking care of yourself. Don't try to fix yourself, because that energy will make it more complicated rather than simple. Take care of yourself. And this will nurture those opportunities, those enormous shifts that you're ready to embrace, or you wouldn't be listening to this. So just know that you're already ready. You're not behind. You're ready. And so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful week. God bless you.